To our audience, we've got a few meetings coming up here tonight. First is our Public Housing Authority, then I will gavel out, and then we will have our study session, and then opportunity to, many of you are here for that, and that will be at the beginning of that meeting. So with that, I'd like to call our Public Housing Authority, our Public Housing meeting to order, and Clerk, if you would please take the roll.
Chairman Hartke.
Here.
Vice Chair Harris.
Here.
Commissioner Loring. Commissioner Encinas.
Here.
Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Stewart.
Here.
Commissioner Orlando.
Here.
Commissioner Poston.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Clerk. Do we have any unscheduled public appearances?
Mayor, I have not received any calls or any cards.
Okay. Council, there's two items on the agenda. One is an annual renewal, the other are minutes. Unless anyone has a question, a motion would be order, commissioners.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Orlando.
Yeah, I move that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 2, April 1st, 2024 PHAC meeting.
Second that, Mayor.
Well, I saw Councilmember Poston first. So
Oh, okay.
we'll
Go ahead,
there.
please.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, please poll the commission.
Vice Chair Harris.
Yes.
Commissioner Loring. Commissioner Encinas.
Yeah.
Commissioner Ellis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart.
Yes.
Commissioner Orlando.
Yes.
Commissioner Poston.
Yes.
Chairman Hartke.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Commission. That concludes our public housing meeting. And thank you, Commissioner, for joining us tonight as well for your work. Welcome to the April 1st study session. It's not a joke. We're having a study session on April 1st. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mayor Hartke.
Here.
Vice Mayor Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Encinas.
Here.
Councilmember Ellis.
Here.
Councilmember Stewart.
Here.
Councilmember Orlando.
Here.
Councilmember Poston.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Mayor, the flu's taking the toll this week, huh?
Well, I think
They're feeling well.
they're doing well. One council member is out of town at a family event. The other is not doing well tonight. With that, we have our next order is our service recognitions. And Councilmember Orlando, why don't you please join me up front? We'll look at it.
You always let me hit.
You caught me with a mouthful of water.
Our first item on our public appearances is service recognitions. So, City Manager, why don't you take the lead on this part?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. We have a full agenda tonight. We do have 5 employee service recognitions plus 1 retirement recognition. And for and for the first 2 presentations, I'd like to call forward our Acting Chief of Police, Melissa DeAnda.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I would first like to recognize, if I can have Deanna D'Arcangelo Larson come forward, please. We're going to recognize her for her 10 years with the police. So Deanna has held several roles during her tenure with the City of Chandler. She began her career in 2014 at the Tumbleweed Park and Recreation Center as a recreation coordinator, where she often hosted children's birthday parties. Legend has it that she would often dress up in costume for the theme of the birthday party, so talk about commitment. In 2016, Deanna started at the police department as a record specialist, and she quickly made a name for herself. She is known for being hardworking, always providing outstanding customer service, and she has a deep sense of dedication to her work. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't add that Deanna is a very talented baker and she often spoils us with her custom cupcakes at work. So thank you, Deanna. Since 2020, Deanna has worked in our crime analysis unit. She has spent 2 years with the data analysis and reporting team, followed by her current role as a police investigative specialist with the intelligence and analysis unit. Deanna has been recognized as a key contributor throughout her career, and tonight she is joined by her mom, Lynn, and her aunt, Jan. And tonight I am honored to congratulate you on your 10 years of dedicated service to our city. So thank you. She's very talented. All right, so next I would like to call up Sergeant Chris Cush to recognize him for 25 years with our department. Sergeant Chris Cush has served our community for the past 25 years and is a member of the Chandler Police Department. He began his career as a patrol officer before being selected to work in our bike units. He was a recruit training officer and also a detective in our auto theft and property crimes units. In 2010, Sergeant Cush promoted to the rank of sergeant and worked as a supervisor overseeing our school resource officers, and he is currently assigned as our property crimes sergeant. In addition to his primary responsibilities, Chris has been a part of our SWAT team for the past 10 years and serves as our technical support sergeant overseeing our drones and robot program. So he's got a really cool job. He's also the president of the Chandler Lieutenants and Sergeants Association. Chris's integrity, compassion, and commitment to enhancing the safety of our community have earned him the trust and respect of his colleagues. Chris credits his unwavering support to his wife, Kim, and his daughters, Ashley and Carly, to his success throughout his career, and they're also joining him here tonight. So I am honored to recognize Chris for 25 years of dedicated service. Congratulations.
Mayor and Council, for our next service recognition, I'd like to ask our Chief Information Officer, Sandeep Dalokia, to come forward.
Everybody's clapping, and I haven't even said who we're recognizing. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'd like to invite Kristen to come on forward to receive her 20 years of service recognition. Now the clapping. Surprise, surprise, I will now recite an ode to Kristen. Kristen's tale, in 20 years of service, Kristen's tale unfolds. From IT trainer to project manager, her journey molds. From in-person training, she led the digital charge. Her accomplishments shine, her impact is large. As a business analyst, processes were streamlined. In e-agenda success, she truly shined. With the budget team, she broke the sound barrier. The new budget system, Questica, delivered with no fear. Even during the COVID pandemic, when we had to avoid lines and crowds, she delivered an online scheduling tool used by customers across 8 departments, housed in the cloud. But amidst the hustle, Kristen finds her bliss. By Caribbean shores, she sails each wish, hiking, golfing, bunco nights abound. In creativity's embrace, she's always found. With Pixie and Sweet Tea, her furry, loyal band, families tie strong on which she stands. Thai food, her culinary delight, in service and laughter, Kristen shines bright. Congratulations, Kristen.
Mayor and Council, for our next service recognition, I'd like to invite John Knudsen, our Public Works and Utilities Director, to come forward.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'd like to invite Ramon Granillo forward to accept his 25-year recognition. Ramon Granillo started with the City of Chandler as a plant operator in 1988 at the Pecos Surface Water Treatment Plant, all the way coming to Chandler fresh out of the Navy, where he served as an engine room machinist as part of the first crew aboard the amphibious assault ship, the USS Kearsarge. At the water plant, he learned quickly and worked his way up through the ranks. He has served as Chandler as an Operator 1, an Operator 2, a lead operator, and in 2023, he took on his new role as the Pecos Water Plant Superintendent. Through all this time with the city, Ramon has shown an eagerness to learn as much about the water plant and distribution system as possible and has mastered each position he has held. He has also shown a dedication to training and mentoring new staff members. This attribute made him the clear choice for his new job. Ramon's dedication to Chandler and Pecos Surface Water Treatment Plant shines through, and his positive, can-do attitude are infectious and serve as an excellent example for all staff to follow. Thanks, Ramon, for 25 years. You owe me 10 more.
Mayor and Council, I actually have our final service recognition this evening before we do our retirement recognition. If I could invite our Cultural Development Director, Kim Moyers, to come forward to recognize her 10 years of service with the City of Chandler. Kim joined the city in April 2014, assuming the role of Downtown Redevelopment Manager. Her unwavering dedication to fostering business growth and diversification in Chandler's downtown area has left an indelible mark on the community. Kim's pivotal contributions have been instrumental in attracting new businesses and cultivating the vibrant ambiance that characterizes downtown Chandler today. Notable among her achievements are spearheading significant projects such as Overstreet, New Square, DC Heights, and the Oregon Street parking garage, along with the adaptive reuse of existing space into iconic restaurants, shops, and experiences. Supported by the visionary leadership of the City Council, Kim has led the way in taking downtown Chandler from its humble roots to an epicenter of Chandler's unparalleled quality of life. Recognizing her exceptional work ethic and leadership skills, Kim was promoted to the position of Cultural Development Director in March 2019. In her current capacity, she has played a pivotal role in streamlining both public and private special event processes. Furthermore, Kim has been instrumental in facilitating the expansion of special events and the introduction of new cultural programs at the Chandler Museum and the Chandler Center for the Arts. Beyond her professional accomplishments, Kim finds profound fulfillment in her roles as a devoted wife to her high school sweetheart, Travis, who is not here tonight because it's pickleball night, I am told. Yeah, gotta blame him for that one. And a nurturing mother to 3 successful children, and her most cherished title of grandma, relishing every moment spent with her adorable, beloved grandbabies. As we reflect on Kim's remarkable decade of service, we extend our heartfelt gratitude. Thank you, Kim, for being an exceptional leader, friend, and colleague. Congratulations on 10 incredible years with Team Chandler. Mayor and Council, sadly, we do have one retirement recognition this evening, and it's a big one. I'd like to invite Matt Burdick, our Communications and Public Affairs Director, forward to make the presentation.
Thank you, City Manager, Mayor, and Council. I'd like to invite Heather Figueroa to come forward to celebrate 30 years and her upcoming retirement. So Heather is celebrating retirement tonight following 30 years of service to Chandler. Heather works in the Mayor and Council office, providing support to our elected officials, as you all know, and serving as a liaison who connects residents with information and city services. Heather has excelled in her role working with the City Council. She offers council a deep base of knowledge about Chandler with a solution-oriented approach to address issues on behalf of the office. Heather she's a huge success story. She began her service with Chandler as part of a program with Chandler High School that exposed students to career opportunities at the city, and she's never left. She began her career helping residents obtain building and construction permits as part of the Development Services Department. She then moved into roles that supported our economic development team with their variety of business retention, attraction, and tourism programs. The majority of her time in the past decade has been spent in the Mayor and Council office supporting City Council members and a couple of years in the City Clerk's office. Her expertise has helped many returning and first-time elected officials adapt to the role to serve Chandler as they establish a vision and policy direction for our community. And on behalf of our entire Communications and Public Affairs Department and many members of Team Chandler that have worked with Heather over her time, 30 years here at the city, we congratulate Heather on this phenomenal career milestone, well-deserved retirement, and we're hoping this is a big ruse, all for April Fools, but we know it's not. So congratulations, Heather.
I know that several council members would like to say something, and then afterwards, if you guys want to get behind it, we'll take a big photo with Heather as our centerpiece. Just starting, Heather, when I first came to City Hall, you were here. You've always been helpful. Your can-do, helpful smile, your attitude of how can I make things happen has been noticed, been loved, been appreciated. I still look fondly back in the years when we had trivia nights down in the Ostrich, and we were always paired up on the same team. And while we never won, we came close. And it was always a lot of fun. But your smile, your kind words, your just willingness to help in any way will certainly be missed. You've taught another generation of that same kind of customer service and willingness to get things done, and we just deeply appreciate you.
Thank you.
So let me ask Matt if you would like to, and then we'll go in the back.
Heather, we first met many years ago. You haven't changed. I have, but but you were at the airport, and she set some standards down there, and I knew you were going to be a mover and a shaker way back then. And when I came back to the council, second or third time or what it was, I just learned one thing: whatever Heather says, just do it.
Thanks. Well, I got to tell you, so when you first you get elected and you first walk through the doors, one of the first people you meet is Heather. And I can say this with 100% truth and honesty. You've never had a bad day. Every time we walk in the door on the 5th floor, you have a smile and you're eager to help. I've never worked with anybody like you before in my life, and I've had a good career. But the way you are giving to everybody, and you make yourself available to help us be better at what we do. But it is a true testament, and I think that Heather embodies what the spirit of the culture of the company, of the city is, which is a spirit of customer service. But you did it all the time on the 5th floor for us. And you left for 2 years, and I remember when she left for 2 years, I was the vice mayor at the time when she was coming back, and I heard a rumor that she was coming back to the 5th floor. I said, I got dibs. I got dibs. Heather was my assistant, or my boss, if you will, for where I need to be for 3 years. It took 2 years off. off, and then I had to have you back. So I'm just grateful for what the future holds for you and the next chapter. And I'm so glad for you and just so happy for your retirement. Thanks so much for everything you've done for me and keeping my family abreast of all the things that I had going on. It's so important, but you're special. Yeah, thanks.
Mayor, Miss Heather, I wanted to tell you that on behalf of my family and I, my husband and my daughter, we truly admire your heart of love and kindness. The last 4 years, I've been here, and I had someone prior to you, and then the rest of the years I spent them with you. You have done nothing but to show me that two people can truly work together, have their differences, and still work whereby there's nothing that can come between them in the sense of making sure that the work is done well. I appreciate you. I appreciate your strong ways of speaking with me because you know me, I shoot from the hip. And so we understood each other for that purpose. You have always been honest with me. And for that, I admire your heart. And, I'm grateful for all the time that you have really spoken with me without even said a word. When my son passed away, when I came back into this office the next day, you were the first person that gave me a hug. And I will never forget that day. It was not from my assistant, it was not from somebody I had known, but it was from a mother to another mother. And for that, I will always care for you and love you dearly. Appreciate you. God bless you. I know that this is not going to be a goodbye because you're going to be around for a little bit. And I'm going to be here for a long time. You'll get to see me for a long time. We'll see each other. Thank you. Love you.
Well, I've been lucky enough to know Heather for a very long time. And I knew her, I think, from each department that she went to. And she was like the secret weapon in every department. Knowledgeable, smart, knew everyone, knew everything. And like somebody else said, did it with a smile every single time. And then ended up being my son's favorite customer at the sushi restaurant that he worked at when he was in high school, coming home telling me about someone he met that was amazing. I'm like, you have good taste because she is actually amazing. And then to have to share you with the council members, I guess, they had to be lucky enough to get to know you too. You will be missed. And just thank you. And thanks for always being there. Really appreciate it. And wishing you the best of luck and fun. You really deserve this. I hope you take full advantage of it.
My grandkids. Yeah. All of that.
Well, let's do a photo.
Mayor and Council, that concludes our employee service recognitions this evening. Thank you.
Great. Next, we have some recognitions. The first is the Chandler Innovation Fair winners. If Micah Miranda can come on up. Every February, Chandler celebrates the exploration of innovation. The Chandler Innovation Fair showcases businesses, artists, students, and innovators in the community as Chandler participates in the statewide Arizona Science Tech Festival. Once again, we held the annual Chandler Innovation Fair competition. I believe this was our largest event ever. Is that right, Odette? Very great. And the winning teams, which we're recognizing tonight, were chosen for presenting the most educational, most creative, and most passionate projects. We are excited to honor them tonight.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Before we get into the awards, I really just want to thank Odette for all of her wonderful work on this. We're lucky to have her, and Stephanie from CAP also is instrumental in making this event go. But now the good stuff. So our first category is for high school, and we would like to recognize ACP, Arizona College Prep High School. And it is Rachna here. The Arizona College Prep High School booth was a display to true STEM promotion that included science and innovation projects, a NASA ambassador display, and a reptile petting exhibit. HOSA activities from the student group HOSA, and an art and ceramics display, and a much sought after egg drop contest. Congratulations, ACP. We're gonna need some photos here. All right, congratulations. Good job. And this was a tie for the high school group, so it was very competitive this year. Our next award winner is Valley Christian High School. Come on up. The Valley High School Christian exhibit featured an interactive display of technology using 3 robots they designed, built, and programmed. They showcased the first robotics program whose mission is to promote STEM to our community by demonstrating features of the robots and letting the audience drive them. They also discussed the engineering process with spectators and encouraged youth to continue developing their existing talents and embrace new challenges through STEM. Congratulations, Valley Christian. And Hamilton High School STEM Club was also an award recipient, but they aren't able to join us tonight. All right, in the junior high category, we have Willis Junior High. Please come on up. Willis Junior High had several displays of students' science fair project boards from experiments they completed during the school year, but the focus of their booth was on the physical and chemical changes that create slime. The students took the helm at the demonstration booth by helping visitors create their own slime, describing the process and explaining the interaction of the materials that make slime slimy. Congratulations, Willis Junior High.
Let's get together a little bit for a photo. Yeah, there we go. Great. Don't forget your check on the floor.
That's the real check. That's the one you want. Congratulations, Willis. In the junior high category, Santan Junior High was also recognized, but they are not able to attend as well. In the elementary category, can we welcome up Bologna Elementary School? The Scorpions showed off their Lego models and engineering knowledge. Attendees who visited the Scorpions booth were able to choose their favorite color to make slime as well, while other visitors created parachutes for their favorite animal or pipe cleaner figure. Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations. And in the elementary category, Rice Elementary. At the Chandler Innovation Fair, Rice Elementary booth reflected their school's focus on sustainability. They had a make and take egg head project that the community could participate in, along with worms from the school's garden for everyone to learn more about. Congratulations, Rice Elementary. Congratulations, Rice. Mayor and Council, that is the end of our awards presentation. And real quickly, we want to thank all of our sponsors who helped make this event financially feasible. So thank you to all the sponsors out there. You guys are very much appreciated in the debt. Thank you very much again. Thank you.
I don't know how you're all going to do it, but every year it gets better. So I'm excited about next year. Okay, we've got a few. You guys are leaving before our proclamations. Wow. I would too. Our first proclamation is Valley Bike Month. So as you're all leaving, don't forget to join us April 6th for the Mayor's Bike Ride. All right, yes, come on down. Whereas the City of Chandler celebrates its 16th annual Family Bike Ride event on April 6th. I think I've made 15 of them. Whereas the City of Chandler, Valley Metro, and the surrounding communities will be promoting Valley Bike Month in April 2024. And whereas throughout the month of April, residents of Chandler and its visitors will experience the joys of bicycling through educational programs, commuting incentives, community events, or by simply getting out and going for a ride. And whereas bicycling as an alternative to driving contributes to reduce pollution, congestion, and wear and tear on our streets and roads, and whereas creating a bicycle-friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, encourage economic activity, and attract tourism dollars. Now here, therefore, I, Kevin Hartke, Mayor of the City of Chandler, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Valley Bike Month.
Hi, yeah, thank you very much, Mayor and Council, for recognizing April as Valley Bike Month. Up here tonight, I have with me David Fleischman, and he's with Cactus Cruisers. And so he is a bicycle advocate in our community. And so we just wanted to encourage everybody to come out to the family bike ride this Saturday at the Park and Ride. And events start at 7:30 with Mayor starting the ride at 8:30 in the morning. So we hope to see you there.
All right, let's take a photo. Thank you again. Thank you. Our next proclamation is Jazz Appreciation Month. If we could have Bart Salzman and Helen Daly come on up. I'm going to have council member read this because it's the longest proclamation of the night. No.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Good seeing you again. All right. Whereas jazz is considered one of America's most significant original art form pioneered in New Orleans and affirms the noblest aspiration of our national character, individual discipline, perseverance, and innovation, and is enjoyed worldwide. And whereas April was the first established as Jazz Appreciation Month in 2001 by the Smithsonian National Museum of American History to celebrate America's leading creative artists and the contributions made to society by encouraging school, governments, and organizations to participate in jazz concerts, festivals, and educational events. You did say it was long. Whereas jazz is flourishing in Chandler thanks to the Chandler Jazz Festival, founded by Bart Salzman in 2000 and is currently produced by the City of Chandler, the Jazz Festival will celebrate its 25th year in April. And whereas throughout Jazz Appreciation Month, a wide range of programming will include jazz bands, youth bands in downtown Chandler, and various locations throughout the city. It is currently one of the largest free festivals in the Southwest, and the Arizona Classic Jazz Society has presented the Arizona Classic Jazz Festival for over 30 years at the Crown Plaza San Marcos Resort in Chandler. And whereas, thanks to jazz in Arizona and the Arizona Classic Jazz Society, over 100 introductions to jazz assemblies have been conducted in Chandler elementary schools, serving over 15,000 children, an additional 300 assemblies servicing over 50,000 kids in the Phoenix area. And whereas the Chandler Gilbert Community College features a major jazz program and the Chandler Unified School District continues to support jazz bands in high schools and junior high school. Therefore, Kevin Harkey, Mayor of Chandler, hereby proclaim April 2024 as Jazz Appreciation Month.
Thank you, Councilman Orlando, Mayor. It's all Leah's fault back there, Leah Powell. Um, just to reminisce a little bit, 25 years ago, I was called to Rich DeLugas's office. I thought I was going to be chewed out for complaining to Leah about no jazz at the Jazz Festival. They used to have a little one over at Arrowhead Park. And I'm a jazz musician and producer and jazz fan. And I got called, you know, Rich DeLugas, the old timers know him. And I got called on the carpet of his office, and he asked if I would agree to start a downtown Chandler Jazz Festival in order to bring people to downtown to see this wonderful location we have, historic downtown, and with all the vacancies of the offices. And he wanted exposure for those offices, for those retail spots. So Leah was at the meeting, and my first call was Michael Kursky. Some of you remember him from DCCP. And my second call was to Bruce Fairchild, the general manager of the San Marcos Resort. And they were both so accommodating. Bruce gave us the entire run of the hotel for the first few years. And Michael made one phone call, Mike Kursky. I was at his office. He called Greg Vargas at Motorola, and in one phone call, he had $10,000 to start the festival from Motorola Community Services Fund. So we had the first one in the year 2000, and we grew it for 16 years. For the first few years, I was a volunteer. Of course, the city wouldn't give me any money. They gave me the park. Rich DeLuca said, "Oh, we can't give you any money, but you can use the park, and you could have Leah Powell as a helper." So she was instrumental in making that happen. And then my dear wife managed 50 volunteers for the first few years, and that's how it went. So we were very appreciative of Chandler for supporting jazz, which is the common language of people. You know, if you go around the world, jazz was started in the United States in New Orleans. Helen is instrumental in keeping the traditional, the old style jazz alive, but it's evolved, and it is the single language that unites everybody from all creeds, all walks of life, all political, all religions. You put them in a auditorium, and you put some jazz music in front of them, and everybody's swinging and tapping their feet and having a good time. But I got to say that the thing that I do the most, that I enjoy the most, is going to the schools. And I have led a quartet to over 400, it was in the proclamation, 400 elementary schools, mostly fourth graders, and it's continuing now thanks to Helen's Arizona Jazz Society, Arizona Classic Jazz Society. And I want to show you one of the things we do for the council to get you guys swinging a little bit. I'm going to put this down just for a second because I have a present for everybody. And I'm going to show you what makes music so important for the children and for everybody. Take one and pass them down, please. And I'm going to give you one. These are all brand new. Take one and pass them down here, please. Make sure Joshua gets one. For our workshops, at the schools, I'm going to show you how to play this, and we're going to do just a very, very short tune. Oh, did you run? Oh, I didn't know if there was enough over here. We're going to jive. All right. Why is jazz important? Why is music important? Okay, first thing we do is tune up. You take the big end and you hum. Don't blow. You hum. Say do. Do. I want to hear it. I don't hear you, Mr. White, right? Okay, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to do something. You copy. You copy what I do. Ready? Thank you.
We're taking an offering now for, let's take a photo.
Encore? Encore?
You are coming to the festival after your bike?
Yeah, I'll be there Friday. Oh,
Saturday, 5 o'clock.
I'll see. I'll be there for like till 9. All right. Our next proclamation is going to be hard to beat. The National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. If our domestic violence commissioners can come on up. Oh, it's another long one. Here, council member.
Come on up. No, you're fine. That's okay. All right. Move down. Yeah. We're all set now. Okay, I like that. Whereas sexual assault occurs in epidemic proportions across the United States, affecting one American adult in every 68 seconds and one child every 9 minutes. And whereas sexual assault is a tool used to intimidate, control, and abuse victims and survivors of domestic violence, and whereas sexual violence disproportionately impacts immigration populations, people of color, people with disabilities, and members of the LGBTQ plus community. And whereas women who experience intimate partners' sexual violence are 7.6 times more likely to be murdered by their intimate partner. And whereas April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Month and is signified by wearing the color teal to support survivors and to remind the community that we must work together to promote educational awareness and accountability for sexual violence. Kevin Harkey, Mayor of Chandler, Arizona, does hereby proclaim April 2024 as National Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Hi, very uncomfortable following the jazz. But thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, council members. We really appreciate this. This is, we don't really talk about this subject enough when it comes to domestic violence. And so I just really appreciate the city making this recognition and making this proclamation this year around for sexual assault survivors that are in a domestic violence relationship. And so we just really appreciate it. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. Tomorrow is actually Wear Teal Day. So if you have teal, please wear it in recognition for Sexual Violence Awareness Month. And on April 24th, it's Denim Day. So please wear jeans. And if you want to know more, you can Google that, but it's another significant day in the month of April. There are also events happening around Maricopa County with regards to sexual violence, especially at, there's a big one happening at ASU coming up in a couple weeks. But we appreciate this and thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
And Mark, if you would come up, our next and last proclamation has to do with National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Since I've overworked Councilmember Orlando, I'll read the last one. Whereas every child deserves to grow up in a safe and nurturing environment free from abuse and neglect. And whereas in 2022, according to the Arizona Department of Health Services, 148 children died of abuse and or neglect in the state of Arizona. And whereas research shows that having a supportive community reduces the incidence of abuse, therefore the city of Chandler strives to create a safe environment for all of Arizona's children. Whereas every April, the Exchange Club of Chandler recognizes and honors the lives of children lost due to child abuse and neglect in the state of Arizona through the Field of Hope Memorial event. And whereas the City of Chandler Domestic Violence Commission and the Exchange Club of Chandler are committed to supporting child abuse awareness and the prevention incentives. Now, therefore, I, Kevin Hartke, Mayor of the City of Chandler, Arizona, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And just also want to thank Councilmember Ellis for her work as in the community as on our Maricopa County Domestic Violence Force, as well as a member of the Exchange Club.
Thank you, Mayor. The Exchange Club of Chandler would like to thank you, the mayor, the city, the council, and the Domestic Violence Commission for your support for the Field of Hope. As you heard, it is a memorial for the children that lost their lives here in Arizona due to child abuse and or neglect, and it is also to raise awareness. To that end, I invite everyone here and all the residents of Chandler to come out on April 14th when we will stand the field up at 2 o'clock. We'll have an information fair at 4 and a dedication ceremony in the Dr. A.J. Chandler Park at 6 p.m. Sunday, April 14th. If you can't make that, the field will be up 24/7 through Friday, April 19th. Again, please come on out, make yourself aware on things that you might be able to do to make a difference. Thank you.
Let's do a photo. And city manager, that other unofficial proclamation that, as many of you know, that Chandler and Gilbert have been working together on many joint projects. And so we're starting an initiative that's going to be enacted this April 1st day of calling ours Chilbert. And Queen Creek wants to come in, so we will be known as Queen Chilbert. And then we'll be bigger than Mesa and Tucson. So, happy April Fool's Day. Sorry, Alexis, it just had to be. All right, Council, there's been a few items that have been called in tonight. The first is item number 4 by myself, Councilmember Ellis, and Councilmember Orlando, asking for a presentation and questions related to the solar installations. And again, we understand that this is just for the study. The later actions will be taken, when we actually talk about enacting this. So this is just for the feasibility study and a little further in that. But Stephen Turner, give us a presentation.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to talk about this agenda item tonight. We're talking about the solar feasibility study. City Council approved the solar feasibility study to begin July 20th, 2023. And we are here today after the completion of milestone 1 of that project, and we'll share a little bit of those results here in a minute. First, we're going to talk about the difference between milestone 1 and milestone 2, and then we'll finish up by explaining the next steps after milestone 2 is completed. So, like I said, milestone 1 was completed in January 2024, and milestone 2 is what's pending before City Council this week. What was the result of milestone 1 is we received preliminary site layouts for several different sites. 25 sites were studied as part of milestone 1, and 23 of those sites were found as feasible options. And then we received estimated photovoltaic production along with design and construction pricing. And then also we needed to find the correct financing model, because there are different ways to finance solar today. There's a solar service agreement, which is like a power purchase agreement from a third-party provider. Or there's also the outright ownership model, and that has become a little bit more feasible thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act. Milestone 2 will encompass electrical and structural engineering. and then we will also submit interconnection applications to APS and SRP. Amoresco will submit plans to the city for review, and then we'll provide final photovoltaic estimates and provide the final cost and guaranteed savings projections. So a few of the results from milestone 1, as I said earlier, 23 of the 25 sites studied were found as feasible options. And this is a very large project with the proposed system to be over 9 megawatts of power upon its completion. This will offset approximately 56% of the energy at those 23 different sites. And 70% of the savings will come from the utility funds, and 30% will come from general fund. And this is a 20-year agreement. So there are a lot of different financial options that staff will present to City Council once milestone 2 is completed. And it's worth noting that even with no capital investment up front, the city would still be saving money annually. But City Council has long made it a priority to utilize one-time revenues to generate ongoing savings, and this this project is a prime example of that. So, city staff is proposing in the upcoming CIP fiscal year 24-25 is up to $15 million available to use towards a down payment and a capital investment. And so under this scenario, the total project cost is $26.2 million. And that is a total annual savings of $1.4 million a year. After this, and after 25 savings, which is when the warranty of the panels ends, the total savings is $41.6 million. So through this project, the city is available to receive $6 million in savings from the Inflation Reduction Act. And that savings will likely come in year 2 of the project, meaning the total cost of the project with the Inflation Reduction Act is about $19.7 million. So the next steps after milestone 2 will take approximately 6 months. And once that is completed, staff will present the various financing options once those estimates are finalized. Final construction agreement will be completed upon the completion of milestone 2 in the form of a guaranteed savings contract, meaning that Amoresco will provide solar production estimates along with savings estimates, and if their system doesn't meet up to those standards, they will have to reimburse us in form of savings, make up the difference in the savings to the city of Chandler. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a 25-year warranty on the solar panels. The total construction time of the project will take approximately a year, although some of the smaller sites may come online a little bit sooner. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Councilmember Ellis and Councilmember Orlando's turn.
That was very thorough. I was looking for some of these numbers and operation, and then you were able to. Sorry, I pressed, but I'm not hearing myself. There we go. Appreciate that. So you answer a couple of my questions that I had concerning the breakdown of what we put in and how much we're going to be able to benefit from it. But the next question that I have, because there's a lot of people out there who have used solar on their own home in certain neighborhoods in Chandler, and their experience is not what we are describing right now. They've not seen any saving. They are not really benefiting from certain things, and then those things are very unsightly on the top of their houses. So what is the difference between what we're doing right now and what a personal home or someone in that kind of line will be? Because if they come and ask me and say, well, you're doing this because it's not really going to do any help to the city, what can we explain to them? Why?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Ellis, there are so many variables that go into the overall cost of a solar project. And what we're seeing with our project, with how massive this project is, it's really an economies of scale. There's a lot more buying power because they're able to buy thousands of solar panels at a much discounted rate because of their buying power that they have. Also, there's various different options when it comes to solar, when it comes to ground mounted, roof mounted, a carport. The pricing options around those different models really varies.
Mm-hmm.
And also the energy usage during that time is much different in an office than it is in a home. So primarily in the office, a lot of the energy is drawn down during the day, where at home, there's not a lot of energy being used. And so it really depends on a lot of different pricing models and structures for it to pencil out. And that's why with how big this project is, with the Inflation Reduction Act and with a lot of other things that we're exploring when it comes to ground mounted and roof mounted and solar covered parking, we're able to make this pencil out financially.
The last question that I have is the fact that I know on personals, they can't, if they use some of the energy, the risk goes to the company. Is that a similar situation with us, or do we use every bit of energy that we absorb?
So every bit of energy that is being consumed will be the solar panels will help generate that energy. So it's behind the meter. So the when the energy is being produced from the solar, it'll be directly used into our system. Yes.
Overflow somewhere else.
Yeah, we want to size it correctly. So we don't want to overproduce. So these
Correct.
will all be sized correctly based on the usage of each facility.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Councilmember Orlando.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know, my electric bill was $22 last month. I have solar in my houses, so they need to talk about it. We could talk, and literally it was $22. So it cost me more the access fee than it was and the taxes than it was the solar usage.
Correct.
No, my concern was payback period. And I think you said earlier it was 15 years. I can't remember exactly, right? And that's just based upon what? What's the assumptions on that?
Well, there's a lot of different assumptions, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Orlando. There's a lot of different assumptions. There's the degradation of the solar panels itself. We're estimating about approximately 2% of that per year, and there's also cost adjustments coming from our utility providers, SRP and APS. And so we are calculating about a 3% growth in energy costs. Oftentimes, that is it is beyond the 3%, and that means our savings will continue to be bigger as those rates go beyond 3%.
And those are conservative estimates because degradation could be less than that. Normally it is, particularly with the new panels today. And the SRP or whatever the electric company is, 3.2 is pretty conservative as well. I think we just saw 5% just recently. Or
correct. We're estimating 3%, and yeah, like you said, there've been jumps much bigger than 5%. So these are very conservative numbers, and we expect.
So if the projections are correct, when you look at the electricity use, obviously it's probably going to be a quicker payback period for us.
Potentially.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Stephen, I want to thank you. I sat on the subcommittee for this and a lot of questions. You know, me, a fiscal conservative, I'm always like wondering where we're spending our money. This makes sense to me, right? It's going to pay back more than what we're going to expend. And it gives us the opportunity to use the Inflation Reduction Act money as well. But I want to thank you for being kind of the tip of the spear on leading this. You did a great job. And we also talked about storage, right? The real key to energy independence is storage. And while we know that the technology isn't there right now, I know that you're researching that because that's the next step for us. And so I'm just grateful to the staff for being cutting edge, right? We're not bleeding edge, but we're certainly cutting edge. And hopefully we can set the bar for other cities to follow. So thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Stewart. Yes, we in our system will be able to adapt. So if the technology and the pricing with the batteries comes into alignment, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, we'll be able to plug into that system.
Thank you.
Additional questions, comments? And Stephen, I want to thank you and continue to thank staff and challenge staff that just as we were able to save some money when we paid off PSPRS and did the LED lights, and now this is it. I know council is quite open and looking forward to other innovative ideas to see how we can, again, take our one-time dollars that at least today we have them and lower our ongoing costs. So we're excited about these kind of projects and this philosophy that makes the most of today and tomorrow's dollars. So thank you. Thank you. Our next item called in was by the mayor. Item number 10 and 13 related to heat relief. And Ryan Ball, come on up.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council, and thanks for the opportunity to come and present on this item tonight. So as you know, As you know, we have, as a city, we have been providing heat relief services to our most vulnerable residents for many years. That could be people who just can't afford to turn on their AC during the summer, or people who don't have a safe place to call home. Last year, we were really fortunate. Maricopa County provided us some funding through the American Rescue Plan Act to sort of standardize our services and really see what we could do. We partnered with the city of Mesa last year to do that, and we were very successful. This year, the Department of the Maricopa County Department of Human Services has transferred the service over to the Maricopa County Department of Public Health. So we're working under a little bit of a different philosophy this year, and we will be running our own services just for the city of Chandler. And last year, together with the city of Mesa, we spent just over $406,000, and we served together just over 1,800 unduplicated folks. If you just want to take a look at what we did last year, we did 1-day respite center and 10 cooling stations. That was also the standard in Mesa. And we spent, just as a city, just over $176,000, and we served 567 unduplicated individuals. And that's just at the day respite center that was operating at our Salvation Army Chandler Corps right here, just down the street. That's where we can really get some good data on our residents. There were also hundreds of others that stopped by our 10 cooling stations last year just for a bottle of water, a snack, or just to get out of the heat for a little while. Just at our day respite center, we provided over 8,000 service hours to people who were there, either sleeping or resting or cooling down. And then you can see some of our stats: over 10,000 bottles of water, over 13,000 meals, over 600 showers, and over 220 laundry services. And those are things that really make a difference in the middle of the summer for somebody that's suffering from heat-related illness, or just trying to keep themselves going. Unfortunately, this last summer, we had one of the worst summers ever in terms of heat-related fatalities. There is a very robust report that has just been released by Maricopa County. I encourage you to go and check that out. It's posted on their website now. But I highlighted some things for you here. There were over 600, well, there were 645 heat-related deaths. They're still looking into some, but they've confirmed 645 heat-related deaths last year. That's the most we've ever had in Maricopa County. 14 are confirmed to have taken place in Chandler. Almost 2 of 3 of those heat-related deaths were people who are over 50 years old, and 45% of those deaths were with people that were outside at the time of death. I'm sorry, we're experiencing homelessness, and 3 out of the 4 were outside when the death occurred. So we're taking this summer very seriously. I think that's part of why it's transferred from the Department of Human Services, who was really focused on people experiencing homelessness, over to the Department of Public Health that has a much broader view, because it's not just people experiencing homelessness, it's also people who are in their homes and for whatever reason can't afford the right amount of AC, or people who have to commute to their places of work and overheat during that process. So it's just a much broader perspective. So for 2024, we've been working with the Department of Public Health, and we will we hope to partner again through the items that you have on your agenda today. One is, well, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What we propose to do is partner again with the Salvation Army. We would have a day respite center 6 days a week. The Department of Public Health is requiring longer hours this year, so it will be from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and also on Sundays when there are excessive heat warnings. Those were the highest days of heat-related fatality last year. They will provide food, water, and uninterrupted rest, and also shower and laundry services just like last year. We will also support 8 cooling stations through Chandler Public Facilities. If you look, I know it's a little small, but if you look to the graph on the right there, you can see where we will support heat relief services. The county is also open to doing direct contracts with nonprofit organizations who are interested, so that may still come to fruition. But just the city of Chandler alone will host 9 facilities all across the city. And Maricopa County will also be taking some direct actions this year. They are going to provide transportation, a centralized transportation service. I believe it's going to be through Uber or Lyft. So if somebody calls from anywhere, they can get an Uber or Lyft to a day respite center in the Valley. And they will also be helping to get the word out through some branding and marketing, and they will be providing us all of our signage. So the next steps are the 2 items that you see on your agenda today. One is an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County that will provide us the funding that we need to work. Some of the services we will provide ourselves, and some of them through the Salvation Army. And then the other one is an amendment with the Salvation Army to continue services that we started with them last year. And with that, any questions?
Sure. I do want to turn back that last slide with the 2 slides ago. No, not go forward a little more. No, forward, not backwards.
All right.
One more. I just wanted to comment, Chief Dwiggins, that that old hazmat trailer you see on the bottom is still being used. That was a donation from the fire department to be converted into a shower trailer, and it warms my heart that this is still being used to serve our community. And you answered one of my questions concerning how are people going to hear about this, but what's the process for other nonprofits if they would like to get engaged? Contact with you or Maricopa County?
Yeah, through the mayor, or just mayor,
Yeah.
just mayor today.
Just mayor.
We are participating. Jeff Christian, yeah, he is here today. There he is. We are participating in the network that the Department of Health is providing. They have a lot of meetings. Please just call Jeff if you want to get involved. You can call anyone in the Neighborhood Resources Department, and we will put you in contact with Jeff. But Jeff also, in addition to what Maricopa County is going to do to get the word out, Jeff has some really innovative ideas he is working on with CAPA for us to do some of our own marketing and really get the word out to people. So I'm excited to see some of those things come to fruition.
Glad to hear. Thank you, Jeff. Councilmember Orlando, then Councilmember Ellis this time.
No, Mayor, you answered all my questions.
All right, Councilmember Ellis.
Out of the 14 people that died in Chandler, what are we doing when we look back and find out how that happened to them? What are we doing to prevent those kind of incidents from happening again? Because I know with the Department of Health Services right now, we're going to look at it more higher level, the health issues that people are experiencing that put them at risk to be able to die so quickly because of dehydration.
Yeah, so through the mayor, Councilwoman Ellis, that's a great question. I think that's part of why it's gone over to the Department of Health. We are working with the epidemiologists now from the Department of Public Health. So they're really diving down into what are those, co-variables. Is it substance use and heat? Is it dehydration and heat? Is it how long? Is it not being able to cool off overnight? Last year we had more nights, over 31 nights that didn't go below 90. So they're able to really dig into the data and tell us what we can do better. So it's a pleasure to begin working with them and figure that out.
The next question is, I know that we were going to partner with Salvation Army, but I don't know how many beds that they can offer. And you are being asked to provide certain night, overnight for beds. What are you?
Overnights, just day, just days. 9 until 7 p.m.
9 until 7 p.m.
9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
So we are not giving any night beds.
Correct.
Okay, for some reason, I thought I heard you said that some of them can stay overnight. So I was going to ask where we were going to put the overflow because real truly.
Through the mayor, Councilwoman Ellis, we do also have our non-congregate shelter programs, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So that will help us really get the most vulnerable, somewhere overnight if needed. And also, of course, our wonderful I Help shelter in partnership with Ascend and the other shelters that we support.
Yeah, because having someone from 7 to 9, you can cool them off. But if you put them out after 9 and they're still vulnerable, and you put them right back into the area where they're going to come back to you sick again.
Certainly something I'd be willing to look at in the future.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Councilmember Stewart.
Councilmember Ellis is right. That's what my question is going to be. It's like, the heat doesn't stop at 7. So how can we, I know this is kind of already baked in, but maybe you can get with Josh or with Mag to figure out a way we can have at least a 24-hour respite center in the middle of the city where we can, if we have the Ubers, I think that solves a problem for folks. We can't just put them outside until we get this housing issue fixed. We've got to help folks. So if we could look at that and maybe repurpose some money, or if there's a way you can work with Josh to get some more funding for an overnight.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Happy
thank
to
you.
look into it.
If council's okay with that.
I think minimally we could explore with Ascend to make sure that with the iHelp program, that is an all-night program that covers Chandler, that making sure that we're able to max out the capacity on those. That's a good way, particularly in these super hot months. So that would be certainly worthy a phone call in itself.
Happy to look into it and get back to you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
Any additional questions? All right.
Yes, Mayor.
Councilmember Harris.
Yes,
Councilmember Harris.
Ryan, how you doing? Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yes, Ryan, I wanted to, I think I talked about this with staff, but I don't know if you got this message. I know Valley Metro will be doing heat relief because part of our conversation have been those that are at the bus stops, and it looks like some of the stops where there will be heat relief going on does have some Valley Metro bus stops along that route at some of the. So I wanted to see, Ryan, if you can reach out to Valley Metro and continue that partnership or partner with Valley Metro to help service heat relief, because that's a part of our discussions that we're having on the board as I represent the city of Chandler as the vice chair on that board. I just kind of wanted to know, are we reaching out to our other partners? Because that is a whole entity that does offer heat relief as well.
Through the mayor, Vice Chair Harris, I will absolutely look into that. That's not something I had heard to date, so I will look into it and get back to you.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. The last one called in is
Thank
item
you.
number 17 by Leah Powell, presentation with the Boys and Girls Club.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. There's just a quick update on this tonight. The item that you have before you is for the beginning stages of the redesign of the expansion, including the patio area of the Boys and Girls Club. We just want to remind you that we had brought forward an extended amendment to their agreement, their lease agreement with the city a few months ago. This is starting that construction project that we talked about at the time. The outdoor area that's used as a patio now will be expanded to be used as as an expansion of the teen center. So there's renovation occurring with that. There will also be an enhanced entrance to the facility itself, adding some additional security measurements. And then there's some of the youth area that will have some renovation refurbishment type new paint and things like that. We certainly are appreciative of the compadres for their commitment to this project as well. They've made a sizable donation that will go along to helping with the furniture and fixtures and additional enhancements. And we are just pleased that we continue our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. It's been a long-standing partnership, and we're happy to continue that partnership. They work very well in the community, great stakeholders of ours in our Galveston projects and many other programs. And we continue to dialogue with them on a regular basis. They provide us information as far as the youth that they're serving and the programs that they offer. And with that, I'm happy to entertain any questions concerning this contract or agreement with Boys and Girls Club.
Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you for the update. We are, I think I can speak for everyone up here, we're grateful for the compadres, but what your office is doing with the Boys and Girls Club to make that a viable and productive place for youth to grow up and spend time. So it's a great partnership between us, the compadres, the Boys and Girls Club. So I just wanted to hear what was going on with that. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to share.
Thank you for all you do. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Council, just double checking. Did we miss any tonight? Just making sure. So, all right. I do see the Live Love folks in the back. We're grateful for one of the items that we'll be voting on Thursday related to the Live Love Center. And thank you for your diligence and commitment to our community as well. And we'll be voting on that on Thursday.
Appreciate everything that they do constantly in the community with all the kids. And oh, we're gonna blow. Everybody, get your blow on. Oh,
Are we going to Gazoo and then gavel? What are we doing here? So
get your blow
no,
on.
okay, that's just gavel.